Hello, Be Beautiful. Welcome back to another episode of It's Time to Be You, the podcast that helps people pleasers take control and finally put themselves first. I'm your host, Ariel Vaughn, a recovering people pleaser and certified life coach on a mission to help you drop the shoulds, embrace who you are, and live life on your terms. Have you ever stood in front of your closet full of clothes and thought, I have nothing to wear? Or maybe you've looked in the mirror and just felt like the person staring back at you just doesn't quite match how you want to show up in the world. I definitely have. I've always loved fashion, but a few years ago, I found myself just feeling kind of meh about my clothes. I wasn't dressing like the person I knew I was. And then I found Crystal Napier. Crystal is an image consultant, professional bra fitter, stylist, and founder of Reneé's Boutique. I love working with Crystal. I have worked with her for bra fittings, for styling sessions, and she even helped me pick out an outfit for my headshots. And working with Crystal has just reminded me that it's not just about clothes, it's about the confidence that comes with it. And I'm so excited to share this conversation with you all as we talk about body image, self-confidence, authenticity, professional identity, and the messages many of us have carried for years about how we're supposed to look, act, and show up in the world. And Crystal shares her own journey of struggling with body image, growing up feeling like she needed to hide parts of herself, navigating leadership roles at a young age, and learning how to embrace who she is through every season of life. So if you've ever struggled with confidence, felt disconnected from yourself, or wondered how to show up more authentically in the world, then I think you're really going to enjoy this conversation. And I know you're going to love Crystal as much as I do. Let's get into it. Well, Crystal, thank you so much for joining me today. Will you just tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are?
Thanks for having me on, Ariel. So I am a image consultant and my specialty is professional bra fitting. And I am currently finishing up my certification in mastectomy bra fitting as well. So that's my professional background. But I am also a mother to a very energetic and talkative, big personality 7-year-old. If you follow me on social media, Reneé's Boutique LLC, you have certainly seen my son, my business partner, Micah, and I've been married to my husband, Sean Napier. He's a former Marine and works for NGIC. We have known each other since we were 11 years old and have been married almost 17 years in June. And then we have our other first baby, our first fur baby, Simba. He runs our household. So Simba keeps us all in line.
I love it.
Right.
Well, Crystal, you definitely have such a beautiful family. And yes, seeing Micah being a future little businessman, it's so cool to see.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so, I think we all kind of have our own perceptions of what an image consultant is. And then when you say a professional bra fitter and the mastectomy fitter, tell us a little bit more about what that means.
So my little elevator pitch is always that I help women feel amazingly confident and comfortable in their own skin. And that's really truly what I do. I love to help women to understand the types of bodies that they have and help them match their personalities with the style that they want to present to the world. And that style always starts with your foundation. It truly matters what goes underneath your clothes and what you put underneath your clothes, I feel truly honors your body because you
Mm-hmm.
want to make sure that you have proper fitting garments. And that's going to make pretty much anything that you put on stand out over top of that. So that's kind of the brief version of what I do. And I'm sure we'll get more into it, but through my consultations, women, it gives them an opportunity to reflect on who they are and who they are trying to portray themselves to be in the world, which is not something that I think we take time out to acknowledge. So most of us are going with the flow of what society tells us we need to be as women. There's a lot of stereotypes out there, and we're always trying to achieve that and always comparing ourselves to others. So I truly can count it as a blessing that I get the opportunity to have women take time out for themselves and just
Yes.
breathe
Yes.
and help them truly discover who they are, because most of the time they're wearing so many hats that they don't
Mhm.
take that opportunity to get to know themselves and know their bodies.
Yes. And I love that you do that and you are great at what you do. I've worked with you and you definitely made me feel more comfortable and confident in my skin. So thank you for what you do. And I'm curious with that of just tell us about your own journey with that. Was there a time that you did not feel comfortable and confident in what you were wearing and how you were showing up in the world?
Absolutely. So I feel like I've battled a lot of body image
Hmm.
issues at different points of my life. I grew up with my mom is very traditional as far as religion, and she has a Pentecostal background. And I don't know if you know too much about Pentecostal backgrounds, but they are traditional Pentecostal denominations focus on the women making sure they cover their bodies, and also not believing that women should have leadership roles or be in the pulpit. So, growing up as a very independent, strong minded kid, like my son is, but I am a female.
Yeah.
That was hard because my mom was like, "Oh, you need to calm down and you
Mm.
got to cover yourself." And I wanted to wear shorts and tank tops and run with the boys, and she was just like, uh-uh. And so in middle school, I feel like that's when I really started to struggle with my body because our bodies are starting to develop, and my breasts started getting larger and my jeans started getting tighter. And while she was pushing me to cover up, I wanted to look like my friends who were wearing these trendy clothes.
Yeah.
And so I remember, and I don't know if she's going to hear this or see this, but I remember packing clothes in my backpack, switching out my outfits when I got to school because I didn't want to continue to hide all of my body, and I was trying to fit in. And and so I struggle with that. And
Yeah.
then college, I feel that I started to kind of it more so embrace my style, embrace my
Hmm.
body. And that's when I kind of started to really get into fashion, even though all my life I was always the one that my family members would call to help do their hair or help
Hmm.
pick their outfits out because my favorite game was dress up growing up.
Yeah.
But I still would look in the mirror and be self-conscious of my body because I
Mm.
had been trained at such a young age that I was supposed to cover my body, that I wasn't supposed to embrace my curves.
Right.
And then getting into corporate America, working professionally, being being advanced in leadership at such a young age. Felt the guest speaker at the Businesswomen's Roundtable luncheon.
Yeah, Marianne Assad Doyle.
Yes, so
Yeah.
she was talking about how she tried to dress older
Hmm.
because she was so young in her role, and I totally could relate to that because I started managing at the time one of the largest branches in our region, and I was only 22 years old.
Wow.
And so I felt customers, when they'd be like, call your manager, they would always assume it was the older white man who
Hmm.
was the personal banker that was a manager in the branch. And so I felt like I had to dress older than what I really was. So I finally truly felt like I in that stage, I found my niche. I found my style, and I wanted to kind of expand on that. And that's when I went back to school to get my master's in business, and I wrote a business plan, and it was about Renee's boutique. I didn't know
Yeah.
that was the name of it at the time, but it was a business plan of helping women feel comfortable in their bodies, especially curvy women at the
Yeah.
time. And that was a part of the another body image issue that I had because I was working 60 to 70 hours a week,
Yeah.
not taking care of myself,
Mhm.
gaining weight, and that too gave me insecurities within my own self and just trying to navigate, okay, how do I dress this and still feel confident even
Mhm.
though I don't really feel confident because I'm not used to this growing body that is
Right.
continually stressed trying to get everything done. So it was truly like it's truly just been a journey
Mhm.
because at every stage it's something different.
Yeah.
Then came motherhood. And that going through pregnancy and trying to manage taking care of another human life is totally transformational. And your body is going through things. And I want to say it probably took me 2 to 3 years after Michael was born to like really sit down again and be
Mhm.
like, okay, Crystal, what is going to be your style? Because you don't have the time that you
Yeah.
used to have. So how can you make it easy but
Mhm.
still feel confident in the clothes that you wear? And so I feel like my style transformed again and I adapted. And that also has helped me, I feel, with my business because I can relate to women that
Mhm.
who come to me and say, I'm just too busy to worry about my style. And so it's been an evolution and a roller coaster too. But it's I get it, ladies, because I am
Yes.
so
Yeah, I was like, I think so many of us can relate to your story, starting when you're young and needing to listen to what your parents are telling us about what we should wear. And then, especially that middle school time when we're like, our bodies are changing. We want to be cool, we want to fit in with our friends. And then just go up to starting to be a professional and thinking about how we are supposed to show up, but then also kind of feeling like, but we want to dress this way, but people have to see us as professional, what we're doing. And I think our clothes say a lot about us. And then how your body just kind of continues to change. And especially, I'm not a mother, but through motherhood, your body changes. And then as you're talking, I was like, even thinking about my own style as far as kind of getting stuck because I didn't go through motherhood, my body hasn't really changed, and I've just kind of been wearing the same clothes, and then kind of waking up one day and be like, I should probably change what I'm wearing. I'm not 20 anymore. But I'm curious, like, how do you balance wanting to be authentic and true to who you are, but being in the professional environment where you're supposed to show up a certain way and act a certain way? How can you kind of balance both of those worlds?
that's a great question. And I think it means different. I think authenticity means different things for different people, specifically when it comes to people of color. We have to have a different level of professionalism or a different level of our personality in certain settings.
Yeah.
And it's to say it, it is unfair. It
Mhm.
is unfair that we feel like in some spaces we can't be truly authentic, but it is what it is. If you want to succeed, you have to create a balance of authenticity and having to make sure that you stay in the parameters with your professionalism. And
Mhm.
for me, I thank God that I have my own business now because
Mhm.
I don't have to worry about that as much. And I purposely, like when I go into spaces that are very corporate and professional, I purposely bring my authenticity to that space
Mhm.
because I know that there are so many people in there that feel like they can't be themselves, that they have to
Mhm.
be poised at all times. And I've been finding out that when I do that, it's making so many other people comfortable around me, and it's like the energy kind of shifts. Like
Yeah.
everybody kind of lets their hair down a little bit more, and we have a lot more fun. And I feel like we learn a lot
Mhm.
more when we're able to go into spaces being our whole self. But it's a balance, definitely. You have to, what's the right word? I think you have to put a gauge on your audience and read the room. I know that's what I have to do. I have to read the room when I'm walking in, but stay still part of me. For me, I'm going to always stay true to who Crystal is. And when something is totally doesn't feel right and it's going against my morals, my reasoning, and if I
Mhm.
feel that level of uncomfortableness, I don't have a problem speaking up and saying something like that. This doesn't feel right. And I really wish more of our world would get comfortable speaking up and saying those
Mhm.
things in those rooms, because I really think we would be at a better place if people felt comfortable enough to be themselves and just say, hey, this is making me not feel so good. So,
Yeah. It kind of leads me to, because it sounds like it's a balance of not only your style as far as knowing what rooms you're going to walk into and kind of wearing clothes to kind of fit that environment, but also just your personality too, and being able to know your authentic self, knowing your values, knowing what you are comfortable with and uncomfortable with. And so it makes me think about, what is that, how does your style kind of impact your authentic personality, like who you are, and kind of vice versa? I think they kind of go hand in hand, but tell me a little bit more about what your thoughts are and how you see it.
they definitely do. And one thing that I have a conversation with my clients with is I'm like, just be honest with me. I can dress your body type, but at the end of the day, if you don't feel confident walking in there in this genre of colors or patterns that I put you in, I've failed as a stylist because I'm not a
Mm.
costume designer. I am an image consultant. And that
Mhm.
means that I want you to feel comfortable in what you're wearing first and foremost,
Mhm.
regardless of how expensive it is, what it looks like. You have to feel comfortable in it. And your style does speak to the room, but if it's not who you are, I feel that you're doing yourself a disservice
Mm.
I have no problem putting on a huge chunky statement necklace and my blazer and jeans and heels and walking into the room, but I know Ariel would that would be a little intimidating. Well, I think the Ariel I met at our styling session would be intimidating,
I've come a long way thanks to you.
but there were pieces that spoke to your personality. One of my favorite outfits that you wear, and I see you on social media, is that art to wear jumpsuit that you got from me. And even though it's a statement jumpsuit, it still had a professional look to it. It's a classic silhouette, and it's not so overbearing that it felt out of your personality, but you
Yeah.
still own the room when you walk in there, but you're still Ariel.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying. Like, I you even though you want a style that is going to be captivating and make you interesting, you don't want your style to overshadow who you are. It needs to match up.
Yeah. And yeah, and it kind of makes me think of someone who isn't hasn't really fully expressed themselves through their
Mhm.
style, because yes, there are certain things that you wear, you're rocking it, I love it, I'm like, I don't think I could do that. But then it also is, you helped me try on some outfits to see, oh, I can do this. So I'm kind of curious to know, if like, how does someone kind of find that balance of what their ideal vision is versus, I am very bland. Like, how do I make this leap to feeling more comfortable in some big, bold prints?
Yeah, I think the thing is, you don't know what you don't know. And I ask my clients, I'm like, are you open to trying this? And I say that a lot in bra fittings. Are you open to trying underwire? Because a lot of women come in thinking Wire is going to hurt me. And
Mm-hmm.
yes, wire has hurt you because you haven't been in the right size. But are you open to trying it? And if someone will say, I'm open, I'm open to trying it, that's when I pull those pieces. And a lot of times for women, the reason they're not gravitating towards those bold statements is because they've been wearing styles that haven't flattered their body types. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody has a different body type. And once you get shapes of clothing that flatter your body types, and then do your color analysis, you know what color is going to work and bring out the best tones under your skin and over in your overtones of your skin. That's what brings out the confidence.
Yeah.
That's what makes you feel like, you know what, I can put on this bright pink blazer and
Yeah.
I can feel good in this and not feel like I'm too much. Although that's the trend, folks. Maximalism. Do the most. But yeah, it's truly just being open to trying something else, something that you would probably never gravitated to before. And I tell my ladies, I'm like, well, that's why you're here. That's why you're paying me.
Yeah.
You didn't pay me to come in here and walk out the same way that you came. Because if you're doing that, like, I've failed you. You want to try something different. You're tired of hiding
Mm-hmm.
behind your clothes. Allow your clothes to work for you. Allow your
Mm.
clothes to show up for you and help you feel confident and empowered and bold to do what you need to do to be successful.
I love that. And you've kind of have just said it a little bit, but I would really like you to say a little bit more, or if there's like an experience that you've had. Tell us about the transformation that you get to see when you work with someone, when they come into you to leaving you and where they go next. What's the transformation that you really see with women?
The biggest transformation I see first is in the segment of our. So I typically do, after my consultation, I typically go into the color analysis. And I have loved the reaction from ladies who do color analysis because they'll assume that they know their season and their colors.
Yeah.
And I don't say a word. I'm like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And it's so funny to me of how they're like, oh, this does look good on me. Or gosh, that black is really washing me out. And so that's the first transformation that I see, that they discover colors that they never tried on before because they for whatever reason they just thought, hey, that won't work for me. And
Mm.
then the second transformation that I love to see is during the bra fitting part of our session. Women have really just, their jaw has dropped once they see their breasts in the right place. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't know.
This was possible.
Yes, yes, they're up there now.
Yeah.
And not just how they look, but they're so shocked that they can be comfortable and look amazing. And so that has been, you know, very rewarding to see with my clients. And I would have to say my most rewarding moment was a client I had. She had went through a mastectomy, and I put her in this embroidered lace bra, and she literally had tears in her eyes, and she was like, I feel sexy again.
Aw.
And that to me is just, it's priceless, because after putting your body through so much with going through that treatment, and she's
Mhm.
missing her breasts, which we this is a huge part of our breasts, are a huge part of our femininity.
Yeah.
And to for her to tell me that I assisted in helping her bring that back,
Mhm.
that's completely transformational, completely unexpected. And so I truly feel blessed to do this work.
Yeah. I love that so much. Seriously, it gave me some chills. Don't make me start crying, Crystal. But with like like thinking about that, there's so much emphasis on our body and like how we look, and then like clothes can really add to that. So if someone like doesn't feel connected to their body, which I'm sure like that client, it was hard for them to feel connected, how can they start to feel more connected to their
Hmm.
body, and how does the style kind of
Hmm.
impact that?
Before I go into book a session with me,
Which y'all should.
absolutely. I think it's about looking yourself in the mirror every day. I personally didn't realize how much I didn't take time to just really look at myself in the mirror. And I realized this
Mm,
after having Micah. You're so busy, you're so sleep deprived that I wasn't just taking the time to just look in the mirror and just appreciating what God created. And it starts there. It truly
yeah.
starts there. Just take a moment, ladies, in the morning and just look at yourself in the mirror. It doesn't have to be a long moment, but thank your body. Our bodies do a lot for us, are working overtime to protect us, to keep us alive.
Yeah.
And I just don't think we take a moment to honor that enough.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a great starter to just appreciating yourself and respecting your body. And
Yeah.
then the next step is to book a session with me. Yeah.
So it's appreciate your body, love it for what it is, and then get yourself a styling session so you can really know how to wear the right clothes. Because it does make a difference. Like knowing your body type, knowing what looks good can
Being
can really
comfortable.
impact. Yes. I love that you talk about being comfortable. I think that is so important because especially we're told of like beauty is pain or whatever. So the fact that you really focus on helping people be comfortable and confident, I think is so important. And so along those lines, I'm curious, what are some myths that people think of with like fashion? I was thinking earlier about like the bold prints. Oh, if I'm a certain size, I can't wear this or I can't wear this color. Like, yeah, what are some
Yeah.
other myths that like we kind of fall into when it comes to our style and who we
Well, I mean,
are?
you just said one of them. If I'm a certain size, I shouldn't wear bold prints. That's a myth because even though we have different body types, the patterns and the prints, it just depends on what it is. Any size can wear a vertical stripe,
Mm-hmm.
and any size cannot wear a horizontal stripe. I will
Mm-hmm.
say that. But vertical stripes, polka dots are never going to go out of style. Leopard print is never going to go out of style, and that doesn't have a size on anything. It just depends on what your color palette is. And even if something is not in your color palette, I don't say that you can't wear it. You just have to be careful how you wear it. So
Mm-hmm.
if you know that you're wearing a color that's outside of your color palette, you might want to put that into your accessories versus putting it into the statement part of your clothing, which would be your top or your dress, or put in your shoe. Another myth I always talk about is because I personally was like, I'm going to wear white. And that was curvy women should not wear white because it makes
Mm-hmm.
us look larger. So I have seen so many amazingly beautiful curvy women in white killing
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah.
Black makes you look slimmer. That's been a huge one I've heard. And that's not necessarily true because if the color is black, but the cut is not for your body type, it's not going to make you slimmer. It's not that magical color that people think that it is.
Yeah.
So, and I know a lot of women gravitate towards black.
Yeah. I was like just talking about that. I think a lot of women gravitate towards black because they are afraid to
Mhm.
be colorful or to stand out and to do something different or that it's simple. So it's interesting that you kind of bring that up that a lot of women wear black because it's so often. I think we're trying to hide our personality of, oh, black just keeps me kind of hidden and safe and no one will notice me sort of thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And they think it makes them look slimmer. And
Yeah.
and it's not about It's really not about the color of clothing that you wear that's going to make you look slimmer. It's truly about what's underneath. Another myth is shapewear is uncomfortable. So I don't wear shapewear because it feels uncomfortable. And most of the time it's sis, it's not the shapewear. It's you're buying a size too small. I see it all the time. Like
Yeah.
women purchase their shapewear smaller than their regular size, thinking that's going to slim them more. And it's just not true.
Yeah.
It actually creates more lumps because the fabric is adhering to your skin too tight,
Yeah.
and that's what makes shapewear uncomfortable. It's not shapewear itself. If you're wearing the right size, shapewear should not be so uncomfortable that you feel like you can't breathe or move. But yeah, there's different style shapewear
Yeah.
for different body types.
Yeah.
So you need to understand what your body type is in order to get that level of comfort and feel good in your clothes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, one thing that I want people to think about, because when you think about clothes and thinking about, oh, I got to know the color, I got to know the cut, and it seems like a lot. And obviously, working with you is like going to make it super simple. Tell us about the value. Like, why is it important for women to have the right clothes and to put in the effort to find out what they should be wearing, and how does that impact their lives?
So the biggest impact is that once you understand your body type, your color palette, all of those good things, it makes your life very convenient, number
Mm,
one, because
yeah.
after you get to understanding your body, getting dressed does not become an issue any longer. And I know a lot of women, especially when they have special events coming up, the panic mode and they go purchasing 3 to 4 outfits at a time. I know because I've been there.
Yep.
And they're trying this on, and their bed just starts to look like a pile of clutter because they're not happy with what they purchased. This isn't fitting right. Then they start beating themselves up. Oh, I've gained weight. I'm not this size anymore. And it's really about the brand. Every piece of clothing is different because all designers design at a different sizing chart. So you got to keep that in mind, and you got to read sizing charts when you're purchasing clothing. But instead of thinking, okay, it's just the clothes, we tend to think, oh, I'm
Mm-hmm.
Reneé that last piece of cake or whatever, and start beating
Yeah.
ourselves up. And so then you not only still don't have anything to wear to this event, but now you've hurt your own feelings.
Yeah.
You're feeling insecure, you're frustrated, and this can all be avoided by truly taking the time, taking 3 to 4 hours out of your life that could make a huge difference for the rest of your life. And I think people don't prioritize that enough and understand the significance of how easy life can be. You have a wardrobe that brings you joy. Like, I have not shopped for an event and I don't know how long. And I know it's part of it. I own a boutique. So, but I keep, like, I know my lifestyle. I
Uh-huh.
know that I may be called on at any point to be a guest speaker somewhere, to do an event, to go to a gala. And so I keep pieces in rotation in
Mm-hmm.
my wardrobe.
Yeah.
And I have my wardrobe organized so I can easily see things. And
Yeah.
I also keep pieces that fit me in my
Mm-hmm.
wardrobe. My weight fluctuates. I've lost 30 pounds since last year.
Yeah.
And I've had to literally do a closet detox
Mm-hmm.
every quarter
Yeah.
to change the size of my clothing
Yeah.
and to know what pieces that my wardrobe needs. So it's truly a life changer. And so in the morning, like when I have the event, getting dressed is not a problem for me. I have
Mm-hmm.
99 other problems, but getting dressed is not one.
I love that. Should be your new tagline.
But that's what I want to give to other women.
Yeah.
I want women to feel that confident about their wardrobe that I don't have to go out and buy something every
Mhm.
time an event comes up.
Yeah.
I feel good that I have pieces already in my closet ready to go and ready
Yeah.
to put on to make me feel comfortable and confident in whatever space that I'm going to enter in. Yep.
Yeah. I love that because it really is a few hours to spend on yourself that will really make an impact. And I think so often, especially as women, and especially as we've got so much life going on, it's like we put ourselves last. And then might seem frivolous of, oh, I'm going to spend time on myself with my wardrobe. But then it's like it's going to have such a big impact because it's not only for the special events, it's our daily living. I know they're not as much anymore. I still need to clean up my closet a little bit, but it used to be like I would have all these clothes and I would not like how any of them would fit, and on a daily basis just hating it and feeling bad about so many things. So it's like it is important to take some time to take care of yourself, and this might feel like a little bit of a treat, but it's also self-care in a sense of finding out what works for your body and making your life easier in the long run.
You
Yeah.
mentioned something about how you feel, and
Yeah.
it's truly, when I clean out my closet, it's truly a mental detox too,
Yeah.
and it truly clears space for all to bring in other things and not
Yeah.
to worry about that and get that off of your mind.
Yeah.
So I know it helps keep my anxiety down. That's for
Yeah.
sure. I was speaking with a lady the other day, and she said something that I hadn't thought about. She said that she had a friend who had recently passed away, and
Mm-hmm.
she had four boys,
Mm-hmm.
and they were cleaning out her stuff, and she had all of these expensive beauty products and just the finest things that she truly honored herself.
Yeah.
And she said, I'm so glad that she left that legacy with her sons, that she lived her life, that she enjoyed her
Mm.
life, that she loved herself.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I never thought about that because that's something that's extremely important to me is family legacy. And when I look at my son who is very meticulous of how he dresses and tries to change two and three times a day to try to be like Mariah Carey with switching all these outfits. I laugh, but I'm grateful for that he has literally just picked that up with
Yeah.
what I do and taken a lot of pride in how he looks, and he
Mm-hmm.
knows that mommy takes pride in how she looks on a daily basis and want to help other people, yeah, do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I love that because then it's also thinking about how important it is for us to take care of ourselves and spend some time. It's like we're showing our kids or the people around us, they're watching and we want to be a good example. So it's like when you take that time and taking care of yourselves, really enjoying what you're doing, what you're wearing, then that's going to be so
Yeah.
impactful on everyone around you.
Yeah. I hadn't thought that deep about it until she said that. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome. What a beautiful legacy to leave behind. Yeah.
Yeah.
To let your kids know that, hey, I enjoyed life while I was here. Yeah,
Yeah. I
absolutely.
love that. Definitely. And then, what message do you want to leave people with today?
Wow. That's a great question. I would say, first and foremost, folks, protect your peace. It's a lot going on
Mm,
in our world right now, and it's a lot going on for everybody. Everybody is dealing with something, and I think we can all give ourselves a little bit more grace with what we're dealing with in these times. So yes, protect your peace, give yourself more grace, and if you are looking for peace of mind when it comes to looking in that mirror, ladies and gentlemen. I help gentlemen too, but ladies are y'all are my heart, and
Mhm.
that's my passion. If you're looking for peace of mind and you are completely frustrated with your wardrobe, with just not feeling like yourself, and you are ready to define your style so you can show up in spaces feeling amazingly confident and comfortable in who you are, check me out at reneesboutiquellc.com.
Love it. Is
Thank
there
you.
anywhere else people can connect with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So social media, Instagram, Facebook, same tag, Renee's Boutique LLC. You can find me on there. I'm also on LinkedIn. I believe you can find me by searching Renee's Boutique or my name, Crystal Napier. And I'm on TikTok too. I'm not
Okay.
active on TikTok, but Renee's Boutique LLC is on TikTok as well. So you can check
Nice.
me out there. And of course, I love getting emails, even if I check them the last moment. Email me at Renee's Boutique LLC at gmail.com. I'm trying to keep it very consistent for y'all so y'all have
Yes.
no trouble finding me.
It's good marketing.
Trying. And yes, and also if you have appreciated my services and enjoyed working with me, please continue to leave me those amazing Google reviews at Renee's Boutique LLC as well.
Yes. I love it. Yeah, you've got so many good things going on. So I hope that people follow you, connect with you, send you that email. And yes, write her a review. Check out her reviews because she's got a lot of great ones. Crystal, I always love to ask, how has being yourself impacted you and led to your success?
Oh, wow. I think being me, I've appreciated that I have attracted so many amazing women like yourself that it's really refreshing to feel that I've created a safe space for other women and for
Mm-hmm.
myself. And I think that in itself is something that I probably don't pause enough to
Yeah.
honor, but I'm very grateful for it. And I consider that being successful, that I have been able to attract so many amazing women that have supported my business over
Mm-hmm.
these past 11 and a half years. And
Yeah.
so I'm incredibly grateful for you ladies and just so glad to stay connected,
Yeah. Well, thank
all
you
of you.
for being yourself and being authentic because you really have created a safe space and your styling sessions are fun and it's because of you just being you. And yeah,
Thank
I
you.
appreciate all the work that you're doing. Thank you so much for joining me, Crystal.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ariel.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. There were so many things that stood out to me from this conversation with Crystal, and one of the biggest reminders was that confidence isn't something we magically wake up with one day. It's something that we cultivate through the way we speak to ourselves, care for ourselves, and show up for ourselves. I love Crystal's perspective that style isn't really about fashion. It's about feeling comfortable and confident in your own skin. And whether she was talking about body image, color analysis, finding clothes that fit your body, or simply taking a moment to look in the mirror and appreciate yourself, the message was the same. You deserve to feel good as you are right now. And we talked about authenticity, professionalism, and the balance of showing up as yourself while navigating different environments, which I think so many of us can relate to. And when we know who we are and what matters to us, it becomes so much easier to show up with confidence. I hope that you spend a few moments this week looking in the mirror and not to criticize yourself or focus on what you want to change, but to appreciate the body that carries you through life every single day. And if you've been feeling frustrated with your wardrobe, disconnected from your style, or like you've outgrown the version of yourself that's currently hanging in your closet, I highly encourage you to connect with Crystal. She has such a gift for helping women see themselves differently and feel more confident in who they are. And I swear, every time I get a compliment on my outfit, it's because of Crystal and something that she recommended or that I got from Renee's boutique. So you can find her on social media and on her website. Everything's Renee's Boutique LLC. And if this conversation brought up something deeper for you, if you've been feeling stuck, disconnected from yourself, or unsure of who you are in this season of life and want more confidence and clarity in your next steps, I would love to support you. I offer complimentary clarity sessions where we can talk about where you are and what's keeping you stuck and what moving forward could look like for you. You don't have to figure everything out on your own, and I'm going to put a link in the show notes so that you can schedule your complimentary clarity session. It's time to be comfortable in your body. It's time to own your style. It's time to be you.